Adam, thank you so much for taking the time to do this. I've got to ask, man, first things first, considering what you just told me, how are you doing today?
I'm great, man. I mean, actually, I feel great. We spent the entire day yesterday. We're getting ready for our shows now. We just finished the principal tracking for our new album, and so we literally spent the entire day yesterday preparing for show. And I feel amazing because we're playing so much, and
Yeah.
it feels as crazy as the world is right now. It just feels so wonderful and normal to be playing so much, and things are kind of coming together for us. The year is ending so strong, and so I'm excited to wake up at 6 a.m. and talk to my brother, my new brother in England, and it feels good. How are you? And
Yeah, doing well.
thank you for having us, by the way.
Yeah, not a problem. Doing well. Trying to get over our first sort of experience of normalcy, which was our first sort of major festival last weekend. I don't know if you've heard of Bloodstock.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah. Bloodstock is like the first sort of thing that properly went ahead in this country without sort of restrictions and things like that. And just trying to get over that now. 5 days of normality.
How was it?
Yeah, it was great. It was fantastic. It was fantastic. It really was. Sad to be over, but you gotta, yeah.
Who was who tore it up the most?
Oh wow. Well, I'm actually wearing a t-shirt right now. A band called The Crawling, if you know them, from Ireland. But the headliners, the likes of Creator, absolutely smashed it. It was so much. There was so much music. It was it's a blur now. Too much alcohol, too much food.
That's a good thing.
It was great to experience, man. And considering what we've been going through, I have to ask you as well. The last 18, 19 months or so, how have you been holding up in the pandemic times?
Yeah. So interestingly, we as horrible as the pandemic has been, is, hopefully, we looked at it as a challenge.
Yeah.
We looked at it as a positive thing. And this is going to sound really strange, but in March, we really started pushing the band in January of 2000. And so, boom, we started pushing the band really hard worldwide in 2000. And 3 months later, here's this pandemic. The world's coming to an end. The world's shutting down. What the fuck do we do? And, my guys and I, we looked at each other and we're just like, fuck this. We're just going to take the bull by the horn, and look at it as a challenge to get out there as much as humanly possible during the pandemic and really connect with people. So what we did, for example, is we did 7 music videos over the last year. 7. Okay, so we did videos for our first 3 singles and for the 4 tracks on our EP Nocturnal Youth. And we literally, and I'm not talking about like, crappy little videos. We used big time production, all sorts of effects, this, that, and the other, spent major money and put out 7 big videos. I don't know if you've seen any of them, but we're very proud of them. And we tried to really give as much content as possible. We literally communicated with as many people as possible that contacted us. We have 100,000 followers on Facebook. We have more followers than, we're not signed yet, and we have more followers than so many signed bands. And so it's the type of thing where we just really wanted to engage. People were miserable. What did they need? Music. People were upset. People were unhappy. This was our moment. And I hate to say it that way because it's such a tough moment for everybody, especially all of the deaths that were happening all over the world. It's just, we looked at it as our moment to really connect. And honestly, it was a refreshing experience for us and them, and it kept us positive and in a good headspace, and it kept our followers and our fans and our supporters, and we call them our family, and just a better place. And now it's really paying off. So that's kind of how we looked at it.
Yeah, that's incredible. Did you see a lot of engagement on your end? Because it is incredible, as you say, the numbers for Facebook, for example, is
right.
phenomenal.
Right.
But numbers and engagement are two different things.
Okay. Yeah. So for example, like we would put out a video. We put out our first video for our new EP, Voices. You know, we did 1 million views in 3 weeks. And it was the type of thing where we would communicate with all of the people that viewed our videos. And yes, they would communicate back for the most part. I mean, not everybody, of course, but for the most part, I mean, we would engage anyone who contacted us, anyone who liked us, anyone who shared anything of ours. You know, I think we were one of the only bands in the world who literally would contact most people during that period of time. It's a bit much now, but we still try to contact as many as we can. But, you know, I was literally every day just contact. And, you know, we wanted to be one of the only bands in the world that truly spoke to people. You know, we put out our new EP during the pandemic. We recorded our new EP during the pandemic. We socially distanced during the pandemic. We rehearsed every weekend during the pandemic, socially distanced, you know, and so we were not going to let this tear us up. We were not going to be that band that falls apart. And, you know, it's paying off now.
How?
For sure.
I ask because, I mean, every band, no matter the biggest to the smallest, has been affected by the pandemic in some way. And you're not the first I've spoken to, excuse me, that we've spoken to that have found positives and been able to almost develop and push forward in this period, regardless of the difficulties. How is it that Pistols at Dawn have been able to, I don't know, is it your drive? Is it your focus? What is it, united front? You've been able to continue to push so hard.
Yeah, man. You know, we're just so excited about music. I mean, and you know, it's been, what is it? Almost 2 years, this goddamn, or 1.5 years, this goddamn affliction has been happening to the world. And honestly, we just want to play. And so we were just like, okay, man, we're not gonna not play. We're gonna play, we're gonna record. We had a producer here in Atlanta, fortunately, who had worked with Smashing Pumpkins and Matchbox 20, and a very good producer engineer. And so we were able to record in a very good pro studio, and we were able to get one of the top mixing guys out in California. And it was the type of thing where we had to put things together. You know, it wasn't the easiest thing. You know, when we're on set at all these videos, you know, where people are masking up and it's socially distanced, and when can we take them off, and you know, blah blah blah. And we just want to play, man. And that's kind of how we looked at it. You know, we didn't understand that, you know, some of the big pro bands, they're like, you know, well, we have to stop everything and we're just kind of go into hibernation until this bullshit's over with, you know, until we see them kind of now coming out and touring. And we kind of looked at it as, fuck that. You have the power. You have the money. Why aren't you entertaining everybody during this thing? This is your moment. But I'm not judging anyone else's band. I'm not calling anyone out. I'm more just saying that we just wanted to play, man. Because honestly, it's like, clearly this has been and still is one of the toughest times ever in people's lives, right? And it's just that we didn't want to be affected as much, if at all possible, if that makes sense. And music is so goddamn cathartic and, you know, curative that we just said, fuck it, we're doing it.
No, it does make complete sense. And one of the more intriguing things, I guess, is that we often, again, talk to lots of bands, and when it comes to the side of social media and engagement and putting videos out and streaming and YouTube and all the stuff that comes with being in a modern band, normally we tend to find there's one member or two members and they're the driving force in it, and others absolutely hate it. Listening to you, it sounds like you're all pretty strong on that front, because it is quite difficult when it comes to algorithms and things like that.
You mean the members of the band?
Yeah, as a group. Are you all able to get involved?
No. I mean, I love my brothers. I love my brothers. I would say that I lived on the internet during that period of time for the band. I'm not trying to take credit. It's more just, you know, that's what I did. My wife, she's our social media guru as well. And so she literally spent 24/7 with me, and we just literally turned it into a kind of a full-time job for the band. And then, you know, we would have interviews in England and the UK and other places throughout the world, and the entire band would participate. And you know, we each in the band kind of have our specialty. Let's put it that way. This is one of mine.
Nope, that makes complete sense. Obviously, of course, you've talked about the release of Nocturnal Youth a couple of months ago. I think it was May for North America and July for the UK or Europe, that area. How cathartic was it to release that EP? Particularly, as you say, you did all the videos, you were building up towards this EP, and then you get to put that out.
It was incredible, man, because the reality was we had actually written it. We had actually written it probably a year ago, and a year and a half ago. We wrote it, and then it was kind of like, okay, there's this pandemic thing. What do we do? How do we not, how do we put out music? And then we talked to the producer that we worked with, and we were able to get into his studio. It's called Cock the Walk Studio, by the way. And we went into his studio, and we spent easily 4 months putting it together. And so then it was kind of like, in the way the music world, and especially during the pandemic, it's like ready, set, wait. It's like, and especially when you have publicists and you're dealing with major professionals, and during the pandemic, and we were fortunate to get picked up by a big LA PR firm, and then it's just like we have to put it out in a special way, and this, that, the other. You know how it goes.
Yeah.
So by the time it finally got released in the US and in the UK, I mean, we were ready, but we were doing everything we were doing. We were making the videos, we were putting everything out regardless. And when it came out, it was just like the most satisfying feeling, just knowing that we had kind of accomplished this during one of the hardest periods in the world. And not only accomplished it, but we got 400,000 streams, and on the new EP, we hit over 1 million streams with all of our music. And it was just kind of a beautiful moment for us, just because we knew that people were waiting for it and excited for it because of all of the engagement that we had previously.
Absolutely. And now that the dust has settled on that release, this fan reception and the overwhelming positive response, did it take you by surprise? Were you kind of like, no, we know we've got an absolute banger here, and I'm totally not surprised by everybody loving it?
Yeah, we're a humble band. I mean, we're very confident with what we do, but we don't go around and shake our around. But here's what I would say. We formed in 2015 because there was something special when we got together and made music. We took a break. One of our members passed away. We regrouped, decided in 2020 that we were really going to go for it. And every time we play, we know we have something special. We're preparing for shows now, and just in an answer to your question, we feel it. There's a magic in the room. You hear other bands talk about the magic they have when they play. Even the bands that hate each other, you hear about the magic they have when they play. Well, that magic is in our room. And so when we recorded the EP, it all came out on the 4 tracks. We're very proud of them. And it's just a sampling, I think, of what's to come. Like we just finished, I'll tell you more about it, but we just finished tracking our new full-length LP. And I'm just saying, like, the EP was it was beautiful for us. It was powerful. It was everything we wanted. There's not a song on it that we're just, that we think is fluff. And that's very important for us. We don't put fluff on albums. And so we don't play fluff. So yeah, we knew it was going to be good. We knew it was going to be received well. How well, I think that's something that surprised us a bit. We marketed ourselves from day one as a worldwide band. Yeah. We're from Atlanta, but we're not a quote unquote, like, we don't go around as an Atlanta band. We don't play tons of Atlanta gigs.
Yeah.
We play the occasional Atlanta gig, but I'm just saying it's the type of thing where we want to play everywhere. That's it, all over the world. And so we're extremely proud of what we put out so far, and it's felt really good the way it's been received. We're blessed.
That's fascinating that you highlight the the sort of Atlanta thing, right? Because from my perspective, from a person that's in the UK, when it comes to American music, American bands, we tend to lump you almost into your cities. E.g., you've got that Seattle sound, or if you're from the South, naturally you're probably a bit sludgy, a bit dirty, and stuff like that. It almost it almost puts you in a genre that isn't necessarily fair based in your city. Whereas in other countries, it tends to just be, oh, you're from that country and so on. For
Sure.
us listening to Pistols at Dawn, it's been a bit of a, okay, there's a design to almost appeal to everyone in your music. Are you looking to transcend those genres and bridge the gaps between tastes? Is that something you're actively thinking about?
It just, that's a really interesting question. We get that a lot. It happens that way. It's just, we just get in a room and we play, and that's what comes out. I mean, like, there's no actual focus to try to transcend the different genres and whatnot, or kind of be a crossover between, say, metal and hard rock and rock. But honestly, those are the bands that we grew up with. Those are the bands that we love, and it just comes out in our music. And so what we are very fortunate to have is this kind of familiarity. People hear it and it's kind of like, oh, I've kind of heard that before, or that kind of sounds like Alice in Chains, or that kind of sounds like Metallica, or that kind of sounds like Slipknot, or that kind of sounds like X. But then they're like, let me listen a little bit more. And then it's kind of like, oh, that's cool too. And that's cool too. And then it's like, oh, they kind of sound very familiar. What we get a lot is they sound super familiar, but they have kind of their own sound. And so we love that fact, but it's just our influences coming out in our music, and then our own touch on everything. Let's put it that way. And so I was thinking about this yesterday. I think we're in a really cool position coming into 22, because we do have metal fans who like our band. We have hard rock fans who like our band, and we have rock fans who like our band. And we're even fortunate enough to have some pop fans who like our band, because we have a ton of melody in a lot of our songs. And so I think it's great that that's happening, because I think we can really reach the most amount of people. We don't want to be boxed in to X, Y, or Z. Every now and again, somebody will throw out, well, why don't we go be a progressive band, or why don't we go be this band? And I'm like, hell no. Like we're going to play what we play, the way we play it. We're going to plug in. We have no tracks. We plug in, we play. We're a true rock band. We're a true hard rock band. We just happen to love metal as well. And we love melody, and we love harmonies. And so we just want to, that's just kind of how it's evolved.
There's absolutely nothing wrong with the word accessibility. It's almost seen, particularly in the metal world, it's almost like a little bit of a dirty word. Oh my God, what do you mean you might appeal to a pop crowd and stuff like that? And it's like, well,
right.
That's what becomes a stadium selling band.
Thank you.
I don't want to blow smoke up your ass, but in the review, I suggested that in 10 years' time, in a decade, if you continue the path you'd be on, you'd be the biggest band in the world. So I'm going to hold you to that in a decade.
And I wanted to thank you. We were beyond grateful for those very kind words, and we take them to heart. Like we really ingest, very thoughtful comments like yours, and it's very, it was moving to us. So we appreciate it.
Oh, no worries, no worries. So let's talk then what's going on right now with Pistols at Dawn. Of course, it's a very, very exciting time. You've talked a little bit about it. Can you go a little bit more in depth into where you're at and what's the next steps of the album? Yeah,
so it's a really cool end of the year for us. Again, we've had this momentum through the pandemic. It's weird that's how we're relating kind of our time frame, but that's where we're at. We've had this momentum. The EP has come out really well. The videos for the EP have come out really well. So for our end of the year in 22, we have our last video for the EP, the fourth track on the EP, Gone Black. We used one of the top horror TV movie effects people in the United States, who happens to be in Atlanta. And we used him, and he dressed us up and turned us into these crazy looking horror Martian people. I don't know what you want to call it, but it's a cool video. I'll send you I'll send it to you, and I'll make sure Tom sends it to you. It turned out exceptionally well. We're really happy with it. So that's coming out, and I would say in the next few weeks, 2 to 3 weeks, it'll be out. We're very excited about it. We intend to kind of ride that video wave through the end of the year from a video standpoint. But it's really cool, and I've never seen anything done like it. They basically put us in all of this makeup and crap and stuck us under black lights, and it's just this big popping, visceral, vivid video with this really, fun, powerful headbanging song, and we think we hit it pretty good. And so we're excited for how it affects people now. We've got the video. We've got a big USA radio campaign going on right now. We use a top promoter in the United States, and basically what you have is one of our singles, Voices, the first single on the album. It's playing a lot on different radio stations throughout the United States, and so that's pretty big for us leading into 22. But most importantly, is we spent the last 5 months writing our new full-length record. Yeah. We don't have a name for it yet, but it has 8 tracks. We're just about finished with principal tracking, and it's a banger, man. I mean, it's got everything. The what we wanted was for the singles kind of gave an introduction to Pistols at Dawn, hopefully made people want more. Then you had, which we were fortunate to have. Then you have the EP reception, both critically and through with our followers and fans and whatnot. We wanted it to be, oh, this is really cool. Now I really get them. Now I've got some tangible music, and okay, this is still kind of the tease, and I want more. And what else, and where else can they take me, and where are they going to go, and what's going to happen? It's kind of like they feel us now, and they get us now, and they're with us now. But now it's kind of like, okay, now we need like the big enchilada. I've got the steak, the knife, and the fork, and the ketchup at the table, and I'm ready for the goddamn meal. I've had all the appetizers and amuse bouches and all that other crap. Let's go. And let me tell you something, my friend. The LP, which will come out in 22. It's got it all. We've got bangers. We've got mid-tempo stuff. We've got true rock and roll, songs coming out of us, and 8 tracks of just, if you liked Nocturnal Youth, or if you loved Nocturnal Youth and you loved our singles prior to that, this is going to blow you out of your fucking mind. And but it's going to give you the full gamut experience, So when you have Perfect Sex, and it like starts soft and you get hard and it goes soft again, not to give you not to get crazy at this early in the morning in America, but I'm just saying, like, man, it's going to take you on the full fucking ride. And we're very excited about it. So we're pretty much done with principal tracking, and we're editing now and doing all sorts of edits that have to happen before it goes to our final mix. We're probably going to be using a producer named Sylvia Massey, who actually produced Tool's first big album, Undertow, and did System of a Down and a bunch of other biggest, platinum selling bands ever. We're going to use a major producer. It's probably going to be her. We're in talks with her people right now. And what we're excited about is to see where we can take our music, meaning we have our sound. It's all on there. This is true Pistols at Dawn if you're a fan. And now we kind of want to see what the next producer can do with our music, and it's little tweaks and edits and this, that, the other, and kind of see what they can bring out of it to give it an even more interesting feel. And so that's about to happen as we come to the end of the year, and we're an unsigned band. So interestingly, we want to spend the end of the year with the new LP, looking at all of our options coming into 22. That's kind of where we're at. Our only goal for 22 is to put out the LP with the right partner, and ultimately tour the world. We not to be long-winded, but we are grateful to be healthy. We're grateful to be alive. We're grateful to be playing music. We're grateful to be putting all of this together, and we're not doing it. We're praying that the new variant kind of hopefully kicks people in the ass to get it together and, get well and get safe and whatnot. Again, not judging, not criticizing, not doing anything here, but we want to spend 22 playing fucking music all over the world. And so our goal is to put out our new record in 22, hopefully near the beginning of 22, if it's possible. And then ultimately come over to the UK and Europe and everywhere else we can. It's throughout the United States and otherwise, and play some goddamn music, because we've got our single. We will have our singles, our EP, and our fucking full length that have never been played in front of people before because of the pandemic. Yeah. And we're playing a show here in Atlanta. We're playing a couple shows to end the year, and to start the year, we're playing. We're actually to be seriously long-winded, but you asked me what we're doing at the end of the year. So the last part of the end of the year is that we're playing shows, my friend. We are actually going to play a free show. Like when we play a gig in Atlanta, we're not going to get on a gig. We're not going to go have a bunch of bullshit openers or this, that, the other. We're renting our own fucking club, and we're actually going to play a free show and thank people for supporting us through COVID. Okay. So we rented our own club. It's a free show. They're getting a free shirt. They don't have to spend a goddamn dime. They're going to come see us, and we're going to fucking throw down in September. Then we're doing a fundraiser. I think we're headlining some big fundraiser with one of the big rock stations here in Atlanta. We're actually headlining that, and we're partnering with them to throw the show and help some people in the holidays during Thanksgiving here in America. Then we have a show playing in New York. We got a bunch of industry people coming to see us in New York in January. And hopefully that will guide us with who we're going to partner with in 22. So sorry for the long answer, but we got a lot going on, my friend.
No, that's it. We want to hear it. It'd be absolutely horrible if you just went, meh, we'll release the album and see what happens. Because that
fuck that.
Yeah, but that has been ultimately the case for many, many interviews for the last year or so, where it's like, well, what plans might you hope to have and stuff like that. So it's great to hear that at least some things are in the work, and your goals and plans are realistic. You're not, shooting for the stars without realizing the state of the world. I have to ask then, you talk about wanting to tour the world and places like that. Where is it, like, you think when you look around and you think of fame, not even necessarily famous venues, but just famous events and things that you think, man, oh man, that's where we want to be eventually. Like, for example, in the UK, do you look at something like Glastonbury and think that's something we'd want to play? Download, the festival Download, or something like that,
Dude, listen, yeah, especially the festivals, Download, Glastonbury, whether it be Rock and Ring and all of the different Wacken and all the festivals throughout. Listen, Europe, I will tell you honestly, there's I got this question last night. We were talking to some people, and they were like, where do you see yourselves in 22? And my woman turns to them and she's like, they're going to be in Europe. And I was like, what? We're not going to be here? She's like, no, those are your people. She's like, we want to play every major festival. We want to be on, when it comes to rock and hard rock, even metal, we can bang it. We can bang it up if necessary. And we are yearning to be at every festival you just named, plus all of the big ones throughout the States, plus in Australia, in Japan, playing the Devils in Tokyo, Budokan. I get so excited thinking about just having the opportunity to come to Download. Oh my God. I mean, how would that be? Or just all of them, all of them, larger than life here in America. We want it all. I next summer, we just want to play every single one of these festivals. It's so, if you want to know if we're jealous this summer, a lot of these festivals are happening. Like, you went to Bloodstock last week, here in the United States, a lot of those festivals are happening. And, we're jealous. We are doing our thing and we have our timeline, but we're ready and we just want to go to all of them. But Europe and especially the UK is particularly special for us. We've made a lot of friends over there, like you, for example, now, and we have a lot of friends and a lot of marketing and a lot of publicity and a lot of just really wonderful people over there. And as my lady was saying yesterday, she's like, there's just something about Europe and the UK with rock music and hard rock music and metal. She's like, they're just the most dedicated fans on earth. And they live it and they breathe it and they take it in and they make you a part of their lives. And, there's so many great American bands that have come over that have kind of made Europe, their home or their second home. And it's just, we definitely could see a start there. If that's where it takes us. We've got plenty of industry over there looking at what we're doing. And so if that's where it takes us, then that's where we're coming. We just want to play, man.
Yeah.
And the venues, we're not selfish, man. Just put us in a big venue or a bigger venue and let us play.
We have a ton of stadiums. Football is a big deal here. Yeah. We've got a ton of stadiums. So as I said, in a decade, I look forward to seeing your headline download.
Hey, I mean, I as humbly as I can say it, I can see it happen.
Absolutely. Well, that is literally absolutely the sort of thing we want to hear. And I always love that balance of, hey, you want to be humble, but man, there is absolutely nothing wrong with confidence in your own music. If you support your band, if you're happy with what you're doing, it's infectious and makes us even more in love with what you're doing.
Well, that means the world to us, man. And it's just, kind of the way we look at it from this whole conversation that you and I have had today. It's like, if we can do all of this during a fucking pandemic, okay, well, God help us when there is no, hopefully the pandemic is past us in the world, and, watch out for us is what I'm saying. Cause when we are truly unleashed and we truly have the ability to do it all, well, you see what we've done so far. So hopefully it's a foreshadow for things to come.
As the name of the band suggests, man, you got to be quick off the draw to stop you guys. Adam, thank you so much for taking the time to do this.
It's absolutely our honor to do it. We're grateful we're grateful that you invited us. We love connecting, man, and just talking music. And hopefully you saw how infectious I can be. We love what we do. And we just want to play music and relate with people and get with people and talk about it and feel it all the way to our, in our souls. So thank you so very much. And I will come back anytime you'll have us.
Thank you very much for watching. You can check us out on gbhbl.com as well as on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter and Tumblr. Go to Patreon to help us out over there. That's patreon.com/gbhbl, as well as Big Cartel, where you can find some of our merchandise. We have a podcast running on SoundCloud and Apple Podcasts. And of course, if you like this video, do us a favor, hit the subscribe button and help the channel grow. Games, horror and heavy metal. What else is life for?